She showed up when no one expected her, and the moment Yağmur Yüksel walked in to celebrate Barış Bakta's becoming a father, everything changed. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, because what you're about to hear is the story everyone is whispering about, the one that no one dares to say out loud. In the glamorous yet brutal world of Turkish celebrity life, one woman's appearance at a private celebration has reignited every rumor, every wound, every question that fans thought had been buried forever. Yes, Yağmur Yüksel, the woman who once shared a story of love, heartbreak, and silence with Barış Bakta, was seen joining the small circle that gathered to celebrate his becoming a father. And that single night has sent shockwaves through the entire industry. The story begins quietly, with a private event that was supposed to be intimate, almost invisible. Only close friends, family, and a few chosen colleagues were invited. The paparazzi didn't even know the address at first. It wasn't one of those publicized dinners with red carpets and photographers flashing at the door. But somehow, someone saw her. A familiar figure stepping out of a discreet car, wearing the kind of quiet confidence that only someone from the past can bring. Yağmur. The name alone carries history, emotion, and controversy. The moment she entered, whispers began. Some froze in surprise, others exchanged uneasy glances. The air shifted, as if an invisible line between past and present had suddenly vanished. Because everyone in that room knew, no matter how much time had passed, the connection between Yağmur and Barış had never fully disappeared. They had a history too complex to summarize in a headline: love, distance, unspoken feelings, and a goodbye that never truly felt final. The fact that she came to celebrate his fatherhood, something that marks the start of a completely new life for him, was seen by many as an act of peace, of closure, perhaps even forgiveness. But others saw something more dangerous in it. Some say it wasn't peace she brought, it was emotion. A storm that neither of them was ready for. Rumors quickly spread that she hadn't planned to come. That her arrival was spontaneous, triggered by a conversation with a mutual friend who told her, "He'd want you there." Others claimed she was invited directly, secretly, quietly, through a channel meant to avoid public notice. But no matter the version, one fact remains: she was there. And her presence did not go unnoticed. The media picked up the story within hours. Why was she there became the question of the week. Gossip shows replayed blurry footage of her entering the venue, while social media exploded with speculation. Fans were divided. Some called her brave for showing kindness toward someone who once hurt her. Others accused her of crossing a line, intruding on a family moment that wasn't hers to share. The hashtags began multiplying: hashtag Yağmur and Barış, hashtag unexpected visit, hashtag old love new drama, and by morning, the story had gone viral. Inside the industry, the whispers took on a darker tone. According to one insider, Barış's current partner, and the mother of his baby, was far from pleased. Family interference began almost immediately. Relatives allegedly questioned why Yağmur was allowed near the celebration at all. They saw it not as a gesture of goodwill but as an unnecessary reopening of wounds. Some even suggested that it was a calculated move, an attempt to remind everyone, including Barış, of what once was. Those close to Barış tell a different story. They insist he didn't invite her for attention or drama. They say he was genuinely touched that she came, surprised, emotional, maybe even conflicted, but ultimately grateful. Because in that one moment, surrounded by applause and congratulations, he saw a face from the past that carried no anger, no accusations, just quiet acknowledgement of how far they both had come. But the human heart is rarely so simple, and the look in his eyes, according to witnesses, told a deeper truth, that some feelings never disappear, they only change shape. Jealousy, of course, followed swiftly. There were rumors that certain family members confronted him afterward, asking why he allowed her near, why he didn't stop the speculation, why he didn't think of the potential headlines. But Barış, they say, stayed calm, even distant, unwilling to argue. His silence, as always, spoke more than his words ever could. He didn't defend or deny. He simply let the storm unfold. For Yağmur, however, the aftermath was far heavier than she expected. Though she appeared serene that night, Those who know her say she didn't anticipate the magnitude of the reaction. Her gesture, intended as something quiet and personal, turned into a nationwide discussion about love, boundaries, and unfinished stories. Friends say she spent the next day avoiding her phone, stunned by how a single evening reignited a decade's worth of speculation. The media, as always, turned empathy into entertainment. Headlines asked provocative questions. Was she still in love with him? Did she regret her decision to leave? Was her presence a sign that the story wasn't over? Each publication invented its own version. Each tried to frame her as either the devoted ex or the unwanted guest. But the truth, as always, lives somewhere in between, in that fragile place where memory meets reality, where emotions resist logic. Fans couldn't stay away from the discussion. Some wrote that her gesture showed emotional maturity, that it was possible to support someone from your past without it meaning more. Others, especially those who still romanticized their old relationship, called it fate. Maybe they needed to see each other again, one fan wrote. Maybe this was the universe's way of saying the story isn't finished. Behind the scenes, though, not everyone saw destiny. Some insiders whispered about the professional tension this might create. If Barry's partner or his management team perceives this reunion as a threat, it could affect everything: upcoming projects, brand deals, even his image as a stable family man. Industry veterans say this is exactly why many stars avoid public sentiment altogether, because one unexpected appearance can reshape a career overnight. And yet, despite all the noise, the emotional center of this story remains hauntingly human. A woman, once deeply connected to a man, comes to acknowledge one of his biggest life moments. A man, once loved and left, looks across a crowded room and finds a memory staring back at him, alive again, if only for a heartbeat. Nothing scandalous, nothing overt. Just a reminder that love, even when it ends, never truly disappears. The irony is that the night that was meant to celebrate new life became a night haunted by the past. Every toast, every smile, every flash of a camera carried that quiet tension between what is and what was. And for those watching closely, the most heartbreaking moment came at the end, when she left. She didn't say a word, didn't stay for photos or goodbyes. She simply slipped out into the night, leaving behind a room that would never forget the way the air felt after she was gone. As dawn came, the story had already spun out of control. Paparazzi parked outside her apartment. Journalists called her agent nonstop. Publicists scrambled to control the narrative, though no one knew what that even meant anymore. All because one woman decided to attend a celebration out of what she thought was kindness. Now, as the gossip shows pick apart every frame, every gesture, every glance between them, one truth emerges. This is not a story about scandal. It's a story about timing. The kind of timing that defines all the great heartbreaks of the celebrity world. Two people who met too early, loved too deeply, and let go too late. And yet, fans can't stop hoping. Some say it's only a matter of time before they reconnect. Others pray for peace, that both will finally move forward. But everyone agrees on one thing: no one could have predicted that one dinner, one seemingly innocent evening, would reopen every door they had once closed. So, if you think the story is over, think again. Because in the glittering, chaotic world of fame, no chapter ever truly ends. There's always another photo, another sighting, another headline waiting to ignite the next wave of speculation. Stay tuned for what happens next, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.